Welcome to Inwards Outwards, an open mic event at Deb Kaufman's Art Space, featuring storytellers, poets, musicians, and performers from Berkshire County.
Inwards, outwards. Inwards.
Welcome to October 6th, 2020 iWow. Inwards, outwards, from your living room. All 16 of us. Hi, Rosie.
Hi, Roz.
With the thing sticking out of her head. Look at it. Okay. Okay, so you know what? Because it's a short list, I'll give you the lineup now. Kristen, Julie, Dan, Susie, Jeannie, Ted, Joanne, Susan Solovey, Deb Machesky, Steve Kerner, who's not here yet, and Ronnie Cunningham, who's not here. And Roz, if you want to go, you can let me know that. And if anybody else wants to go, you can let me know that. Okay. So let's see, on deck is Julie, and first up is Kristen.
Yay!
Thank you.
We're only gonna get into this unmuted thing. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, totally. This is exciting for me for several reasons. I'm gonna try to do it right now, right here with the baby playing and the husband just gave everybody a view of your belly and the background. And if it doesn't work, I'll just move the laptop. Also, this is in however 8 months, this is the first time I haven't been on my phone. So I usually only have like 1 or 3 people at a time. So it's kind of great that it's a small number because I can see everyone. And one of the things I wanted to share was I missed last month, but all the months prior, when you're on your phone and you're presenting, you can really only see one person at a time. So, so the only person I've been able to see when I perform is Deb. And it's actually really lovely and like affirming to be sharing whatever my story is and just see like Deb's smiling, loving face. So thanks, Deb. You didn't know that you were doing that for me, but and actually I think maybe I am gonna have to move the laptop because the baby noises are, so y'all can take a little trip with me, and hopefully the bedroom's not too dark. Okay, there we go. Hi. So I'm like sort of unprepared, but I have a little bit of a story to share. What makes you laugh? So thanks for the prompt, because geez, you know, you might think, yes, of course, like I have this beautiful 11-month-old son, so we're laughing a lot. And I can regale you with all of the cute things he does, but they're cute baby things, so you can imagine. So I'm not going to talk so much about how Gabriel constantly makes us laugh. I'm going to talk about how actually the prompt reminded me that like maybe how much I'm not laughing, or how infrequently I'm really like yucking it up. Like, you know, for many reasons. I feel like this is another funny thing about the yin yang. Like I remember in the 90s, yin yangs were cool, and I always thought they were kind of cheesy. And it was like, you know, peace signs and yin yang. You have like a Baja shirt with a yin yang, and I've never like actually felt that more than in the past, like what that is in the past several months, of this like feeling like grounded and really good and like solid in my being, and also like really tumultuous and like overwhelmed, and somehow like all of those things. So I'm appreciating that, and that's where the laughter comes in, right? That kind of laughter that like pours into sobbing. I've had quite a bit of those these days. And so I take frequent walks to town, and what's nice about the Great Barrington Library is they're often have free books out. They've been having them for a while now. So so I like to browse, especially if the baby's like asleep in the stroller. Not that we need any more books, but I can't help myself. So I happen to, oh, another great thing is that I've been teaching homeschool kids at the gazebo in Great Barrington. So there are some really interesting plus sides for me with this COVID thing. And one of them has been that I get to hang out with kids in a really free, incredible way, freeing for all of us. And so I've been, have like more opportunities to teach and work with kids than I have in ages. And so I'm always looking for fun stuff for that. And I found a Would You Rather book. It's just like a stupid free, you know, would you rather, the one, I opened it up and the first thing I read was, would you rather lick a random dog's tongue or steal a bone from a pit bull? So I read that and I was like, this is great. Like I have to have this for like a time killer or whatever. I just need to have this for my students. Well, this book has brought me so much joy in the past week and a half. And the best thing is that like a fart joke is never not funny. It's never not funny. So so we were reading through, what's that?
Just saying the word.
Just saying that like farts are never not funny. And so this is the brief end of the story of this fart joke. So the would you rather is, I can't even say it without laughing. Would you rather have your breath smell like farts or have your laugh sound like a fart? Every time. I don't know why, but this, it struck me so funny. I like, every time I think of it, I die. And to me, the answer is like completely obvious because I would definitely rather my laugh sounded like a fart than my breath smelled like a fart. And then I was thinking like, well, what would your laugh be like? And it would just be like, that would be great because then everybody would just always laugh more because you would sound like you were farting. So like I could end there, but so like a couple weeks, like last week, I read this and every time I think of it, I like die laughing. And I happen to have been able to go to the dentist for the first time in like over a year because of having a baby and then COVID. And strangely, I had like 2 really great experiences at the dentist. So that was great. And I went last week and I'm having, you know, they take your temperature and make sure, you know, whatever. But it's so weird because then they're like in your mouth, you know, and I had like my teeth wasn't clean. And I'm chatting with the hygienist about how she's a single mom and it's really hard because her kids are in school or partly in school. And she leaves me alone after she goes to get the doctor. And here I am again thinking about this. And I'm thinking like, gee, I'm really glad my breath doesn't smell like farts right now. And I thought like, I really wanted to tell them. I really wanted to tell the dentist and the hygienist. I didn't, but I came really close and I'm getting my teeth checked out and it was all I could do to not like burst. So that's what makes me laugh. Farts, apparently. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I got. So just every time somebody's laughing tonight, just imagine they were going like. That's it for me. And I will say I might have to turn the screen off so I can go do Babyland, but I'll be listening in. Yeah. Good night. Thanks.
Thank you. Yay.
Hey, it's to get a grip.
Get a grip.
Okay. Let's see. On deck is Dan Ruderman, and up now is Julie.
All right. Well, thank you, Kristen. I feel like I have many, many, many months to contemplate my answer to that question. So I will be doing that. So with things that I think are funny, I'm just gonna share a video that just kills it for me every time I watch it. The thing is that by the time I get to see a viral video, like everybody else in the world has seen it. I'm always so late in catching on to these things. This video I did actually see a few years ago, and it was somebody, with a friend in the Berkshires who first shared it with me. But when I share it with you, you may be like, oh, I've seen that, but or not. It may be the first time, and then afterwards, if you need an explanation of what you just saw, I'm happy to fill in the spaces. But for now, I'm just gonna share my screen and let you watch. So let's see. Okay, sharing desktop. All right, so you all can see my screen now, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, hang on just a second. All right, here we go. Come on. Hang on just a second. We'll try one more time. Recent desktop. All right, here we go.
Does this guy think he's an Indian? Was he a goddamn asshole? What the fuck is he doing? Not ever. No way. Now he's Johnny Hammersticks. I run away like he's freaking Tommy Noble. The hell's he doing? Thinks he's got it going, bossing over. No way. No way. What is this garbage? What is this? Oh, I'm king of the trees. I'm the tree meister. I count on them. When sometimes I brag, I like to steal. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. This guy thinks he's Captain Knots. Thinks he's Captain Tying Knots. When everyone needs some knots tied, they go to him. Bullshit. Bullshit. This woman's such a bitch. Thinks she's Miss Sand. Drinking out of cups. Being a bitch. I bet her fist. I bet her fiddlisk. Burned. Patterskun patted a little kid in the background fucking going crazy. Who's this guy? Mr. Balloons. Mr. Balloon Hands. No way. No way. Get real. Like those things. Mr. Walkway. Mr. Walk Down Me. I'm the walkway. Lead me to the building. Fuck you. 5643. Yeah, right. You some stupid bitch. Who paid for that floor? Not me. No way. Never paid for no floor ever again. Not once, not never. Nope. Whose chair is that? Who bought that goddamn chair? It's not my chair. Not my chair, not my problem. That's what I say. No way. Stupid dresses. Stupid flowers. Lighthouses rule. You don't like the lighthouse? You suck. What is this, seahorse captain? What is it, seahorse seashell party? Who didn't invite me? Why didn't I get invited? Seahorse seahell? What is this? Get real. I'm in love with seahorses. I'm in love with them. They're so beautiful and cute. I'm in love with the seahorses. They're fucking unreal. I love them. They're like all the clocks. I love them. I love seahorses, and I love looking at them, and I love seashells. I love seashell things. I love things with seashells and seahorses on them, like blankets and towels and little bags. I love them. Seahorses forever.
Jeez.
All right. So anyway, that just personally just like cracks me up. So that was if you're the guy, he was tripping on LSD, and his friends recorded him while he was tripping, and then they went.
No.
So
Oh, wow.
that's the story behind drinking
Oh.
out of cups. So
He's a happy guy.
you can thank me later.
Thank you, Julie.
Well,
Thank you, Julie. What is this? A guy tripping on acid? What?
My chair
Who's
is
this?
my problem.
Look at these eyebrows.
So Susie Kaufman's on deck and Dan is up next.
Oh,
Dan.
that's me.
That's you.
Yeah,
All
what
right.
is this? What is
What
this?
is this? I'm
Dan,
up next. What's with the Ted just keeps talking, like he's talking like he's on Zoom or something.
Yeah, what is this? Rudiment.
It's like he's got, what has he got on his hands there? I don't even know. It's like a
Yeah. Fucking
fingerless
pens.
glove.
Electronic.
This is like the Ted and Dan show. I have a thing I'm going to do, but unfortunately, Kristen, reminded me of way too many things, which is the best part of laughing, right? Like you hear a joke and then it reminds you of a joke, and if you get the right people in the room, you'll never get out alive. Do you guys know why the crack in your ass goes this way instead of this way?
Everything.
Because when you slide down the banister, it doesn't go. All right, that wasn't what I wanted to talk about. I have a song to keep my series of songs going, and here it is. If you feel like China breaking, if you feel like laughing, break China laughing. Break China laughing, laughing, laughing. If you feel like leaves falling, if you feel like smiling, fall leaves smiling. Fall leaves smiling, smiling, smiling. If you feel like love making, if you feel like flying, make love flying. Make love flying, flying, flying. I got down, not the first time, I got down and then I just get up and go. That's it. That's the song. Now I will tell you a story. That's a song by the Jefferson Airplane called If You Feel. And it's better with Grace Slick's voice than mine, but there you go. So these guys are in a bar one night, right? And they're talking, and they're kind of upset that one of them always has all the luck with the ladies. And they say, like, how come you always have the luck with the ladies? And he says, well, I've just got a really great pickup line. It's guaranteed to work every single time. And they go, there's no such thing as a guaranteed line. He goes, no, it works every time. They go, nonsense. He goes, yeah, no, I'll bet you I could go home with any girl in this bar. And they say, okay, how about that hot blonde girl over there? And so he says, all right. And he walks over. They see him talking to her for a few minutes. She laughs, she takes his arm, and they leave. And they come back. He comes back 45 minutes later. His friends have just been drinking the whole time. And they're like, well, that was just luck. You couldn't do it again. He goes, yeah, I could totally do it again. It's foolproof. They say, all right, how about that girl over there? And so he goes over to that girl and they watch from the distance. He talks to her for a few minutes. She laughs. She takes his arm and they leave. He comes back 45 minutes later. This happens 3 times in a row, the exact same thing. Finally, his friends are trashed. And he's like, look, I'll tell you the secret. It's a line. You go up to the woman. I'll teach you how to do it. You go up to the woman and you say, it's particularly nasty weather. And when she says, no, oh, I blew the joke. Oh my God. He says, you go up to the girl and you say, tickle your ass with a feather. And when she says what, you say, it's particularly nasty weather. And then you just talk a little bit and you'll go home with her every time. It's guaranteed, it's subliminal. So his friend says, all right, I'm gonna try it. He goes, all right, just go over, pick any girl and go up to her. So he goes, all right, I'm gonna go over to her. And they all watch, and he goes over to a woman and he talks to her for a few minutes and she slaps him in the face and knocks him down. And so he comes back over and they're like, what happened? Did you do what I said? He goes, yeah, I went over and I said, tickle your ass with a feather? And she said, what? And he said, it's really fucking cold out. All right. If I have 30 seconds left, in Germany, they don't have dad jokes. They have flat jokes. So that they say when a flat joke comes, you have to pick up your feet and just let it go underneath you. So here's my flat joke for the Swedes. Do you know why they put barcodes on the sides of all the boats in the Navy in Sweden? They did it so that when the boats come back in, they can Scandinavian. I hope you had your feet up. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, everybody.
Love you too.
Thank you, Dan.
Living up to the Bruder man.
On deck is Jeannie. Where's Jeannie? She's still here?
I'm
I
here.
think she's the one without the, yeah. And up now is Susie.
Hello.
Hi, Susie.
These are dark, apocalyptic times. The specter of COVID hangs over us. We are still a month from driving the demon out of the White House. And every day brings new bursts of confusion and anxiety. Personally, I'm experiencing hair loss and ringing in the ears. Many are struggling to put food on the table. Large swaths of California and Oregon have burned to the ground. Now, we have a schmuck in charge who appears on TV gasping for breath while dismissing the severity of the pandemic. Michelle Obama has famously encouraged us, when they go low, that we should go high.
Yes.
But we say there are times when low is definitely the way to go. Thank you. Love you all.
Love you too.
Oh, that's great. That's the closest to a pie in the face that we're going to get tonight.
I
love it.
couldn't get a pie. I tried.
That was good. That was just great. We got it.
Nice. Thank you, humor.
Thanks, Susie.
You're welcome. Now I got to take a bath. Which I am not doing on screen.
Thank you,
Pretty
Susie.
good, actually.
That's
Yep.
funny.
Thanks, Frank.
Ted, you're on deck and Jeannie is up now.
But eventually it did.
Okay. Well, hi, everybody. I'm going to do a song. It's brand new. It's my new song. I want you all to hear it and, bear with me. Years ago, I found this woodsy home, a quiet place to park my bones. Where I live is so dang fine. I got the trees and the critters singing birds all the time. So I get in sync with the slow down vibe. I lie on the hammock, be outside. Love that breeze on my skin, but no matter what I try, reception barely comes in. So I got me a satellite dish hooked up, but it works. It just kind of, like cow pies. Stinks. Buffers suffer, that's the way. Time and again, day after day. Then the pandemic hit, danger looms. I'm George Jetson with sketchy Zoom. Barely getting any live stream. No concerts, no workshops, harsh in my dream. I'd rather listen to the noises in my head. Pick up my guitar, play this song instead. Yeah, that's right. I'm just gonna play this song. That's right. And so, my friends, this truth I'll tell here on the wrong side of the digital divide. It's been hell. Well, the landlord called. It's the end of this ride. Packing my stuff, the universe on my side. My new home feeds my soul. Got that cyber connection, gonna rock and roll. That's right. I'm out of here. Eat my dust. That's right. Here I come. Civilization. Hey. And the truth is, I am inviting you all to help my next home find me. I'd love a little house in the country, 2 bedrooms, bathtub, a little patch of earth. You know, nothing
With good
fancy,
Wi-Fi.
but good friggin' internet. Good friggin' internet and cell service. Thanks, everybody. I don't know how much of that you heard.
Yeah,
We
it was
heard
great.
It
Pretty
was
good.
great.
Great.
It was great.
It was great.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank you.
On deck is Joanne, and up now is Ted.
Okay, I got a piece of fiction. And so it's fiction. It'll sound like a memoir. Life is short. When I was a young man, just turned 20, finished junior year, I came upon some cash left in a mattress in a dorm after the richer students had left for summer. It was a lump of maybe 50 folded ones. I fanned through them looking for something bigger when I noticed a note inked onto one of them. Heating grate by left of desk 5893. One or two turns of the screw, and there I was holding a gray metal box which opened. Something I hear. All right, sorry for being distracted. So I opened up this grate, 1 or 2 turns of the screw, and there I was holding a gray metal box which opened when set to 5893 and presented, first to my nose, the aroma, a stack of 100 fresh mint 100s, no joke, 10 grand. By midnight, I was loaded up with the top-line expedition gear and sleeping in the chairs at JFK waiting for a flight to New Delhi. I was going to find that guru my roommates had been yammering about all spring, the one that tells you the meaning of life. It was a joke, but I was up for a laugh. You know, it sounds like a joke, he told me. I had spent 4.5 brutal weeks on trains and climbing mountains. His name was Guruji Babaji Ramaji Rajadev or something. Locals in the village 4,000 feet below his Himalayan goat farm knew him as G-Dev. Yes, G-Dev, I know. Asking you for the meaning of life is like those jokes where you then say, or whoever is playing the guru game says, blueberry muffins or something. It isn't blueberry, he said, playing the game perfectly. I could still hear that odd accent and the twinkle of his eye reflecting the campfire outside his hut. A girl, we called them girls back then, was also there. London, Cambridge, smart one, greasy hair like we all were by then. I know you're thinking, was she hot? Get over it. She was a seeker like me. You don't look down their powder blue half button denim work shirts when they don't wear bras just to answer you that question. Come on, concentrate. We're talking the meaning of fucking life or whatever. And here we are finally sitting with the oracle or whatever, who seems really ready to tell us. He then said, come sit by my side and hold my hands. I moved over toward him and he brushed me away. Not you, pervert. And so the woman, honestly, she was maybe pretty enough, okay, about 28, I think she said, PhD type. Gurus like that shit. Helen, her name was. And when her hand was wrapped in his own, scarred with years of goat herding, He brushed back his hair and looked long, if not maybe somewhat longingly, into her own quiet black eyes. Then he gave his talk. He looked right at me the whole time and never blinked, the water rising higher and higher from his lower eyelids, sparkling with firelight. The joke about the meaning of life is not funny. Not to guys like me. You know that, right? It makes it look like we don't know shit. And that you guys, the seekers, are pretty dunce too. And we are dunce. We're all clowns. But no one is laughing around here. Do you hear anyone laughing? Ha, no, that's my old goat getting it on with this girl. My actual goat, my goat, I have goats. Come on. You're brainy kids. Colleges, degrees. Helen here is PhD. I mean, I should be asking you what the great meaning is. She started to answer, which was a mistake. She said, my girlfriend says it is, but gurus know how to cut you off, stop your constant narrative voice. He raised his hand to her lips to silence her. We were quiet then for 10 minutes, shivering, needing to pee, a full moon casting cold shadows wherever the campfire's warm shadows missed. He started to talk, and then out it came, a string of almost nonsense, although Helen told me later on the train back to India he was yammering a jumble of new linguistic philosophy, postmodern take on the old translation problem, how we in our world are trying to understand him and his world, his enlightenment, by listening to him, trying to speak English when it's hard enough for him to explain it to himself in the goat herd dialect of his mother's. I wrapped myself in my 0-degree mummy bag that had cost me 3 of those 100 100s back in New Haven. He stopped, stood up and went over to the cliff edge a few yards from where we were, upwind of where we were, and took a very long pee. You could feel the warm air of it, like a barn smell. I looked at Helen, shook my head in that way to say, this isn't our guy. Or if this is our guy, he's a bullshitter. We were living the old joke. It is all just a joke, G-Dev? I asked him when we got back settled. Helen had moved over by me in the hiatus, probably thinking of his hands. I know I was. This meaning of life question, a joke or? Sure, but not a laugher. You're not laughing, I'm not laughing. It is a serious joke, so why bother? Maybe life is too short for a meaning. He looked at me hard as if demanding, do you see? It was the big moment for me, what I'd been seeking. Helen was pawing her backpack, muttering notebook, so I figured she liked this too. Excuse my frankness, G-Dev. I just want to be sure about the English. If life is too short for meaning, I wonder if you mean it the way people say life is short and mean don't bother with this or that frustration or diversion, or do you mean? He said he meant what he says. Life itself is just too short for it to have meaning. It would have to be a lot longer than 90 years, a lot. The way 2 words, blueberry muffin, is too short to be a sentence, much less a paragraph, much less a chapter or a book or a whole goddamn volume of the meaning of life. He said you would have to talk your whole life to wrap its meaning in words. So what the fuck, he concluded, and then added, as you say, right? Helen then tried her piece again. My girlfriend who died last year, and that is why I left and came up here, she said the meaning of life is sex. What about that, G-Dev, Mr. Old Guy, the goat clown? She sounded half curious for his answer, half groused by him. He looked over at me. I think he winked, but it might have been the cold air coming down from the snow peaks hovering above us. Helen was waiting. I could see her breath puffing fast. He gestured something with his hands up and down and said, go on, take them off. Do it now, with Theodore. He pointed at my lap and winked for sure. I said, I mean, it's okay with me, I'm just saying. He said, haha, you said I mean. There you go, man. You mean, I mean, we all mean the golden mean, blueberry, screwberry. Go on, kids. It's warm in my hut. Incense, goat skins. We laughed. We sat around the fire until it died down, and each of us went back to our separate beds. Because if sex is the meaning of life, well, then life really is too short. You would have to do it all day for the rest of your life, as G. Dev would say. And what the fuck, as we would say.
Thank you, Ted.
Thank you.
I actually think we're doing very well with background noise. I know there were some couple issues with that, but I think we're okay so far. Okay. Okay, Susan Solive's on deck and Joanne Spees is up next.
Hey, Joanne.
Hello, thank you. Well, I believe in these 5 minutes I can tell a joke, my one joke that I know, and a short song. Okay, there was this man who opened up his back door and there was a snail on the porch. You know this story? Well, he kicked the snail across the yard. 5 years went by. There was a knock at his door. It was the snail. And the snail said, "What was that all about?" So I just wrote this brand new song and I really don't have an arrangement. I'm going to recite, half sing it. Okay? Okay.
All right.
I have to explain something. Kristen might enjoy this. My mother had a fart blossom club. So there's just a short reference to that in the song. When I was a girl, they told me to smile. Nothing was funny, but after a while I learned, don't take yourself so seriously. Fart blossom club and whoopee cushion, what kind of humor are we pushing? He who laughs last, laughs alone. Send me a joke in a paper hat. Make me laugh, I'm your thermostat. Hot to cold, keep me warm, keep me warm. Sometimes I'm laughing while I'm crying. We go on living while we're dying. It's a wide rainbow over our head. Knock, knock, who's there? Rub-a-dub-dub. Evil in a mustache, pulling the rug from under you and under me. Laughing at lies so far from true. Hungry for an honest moment. It's true. Baby smiling in the breeze, singing, bluebirds singing in the trees. The mystery of space and time, the history of your joy and mine. Thank you. It's gonna
Joanne, thank you.
keep going. Thank you.
Good.
Deborah Macheski's on deck and Susan Solive's up next.
Hi, guys. I'm so enjoying this. And more than anything, as I thought about this, I have to say, I'm a laugher. I'm like a laugher. I find a lot of things funny. And unfortunately, I'm that kid who was like thrown out of class because I couldn't stop laughing. Thrown out of class, I like couldn't stop laughing. I would look at my friends, and I was in college. Not second grade, not fourth grade, thrown out of class, sociology. I'm sure I missed something so interesting that day. I basically make myself laugh a lot. And when I was kind of compiling a list, the list of what I laugh at would be just way too long. So I'm going to give you the top few. I make myself laugh. And just to give you an example, today, I decided to bring out my winter boots and put my summer shoes away. Obviously, it's time. And I had this fabulous ratty pair of sneakers that I wore all summer. They had holes on both sides of the foot. And I said, gotta throw them away. They're done. They're done. Threw them in the garbage. I was so proud of myself. Half hour later, I threw something else away. I'm like, what are my sneakers doing in the garbage? I love the sneakers. I shouldn't throw them away. I take them out of the garbage. And I realized I'm an insane person. And I thought, I'll look up and get a new pair of those. So I'll look up online, try to get a new pair of the same ones, cannot find them. So I throw them back in the garbage and say, I'll get another pair. I'm telling you, 2 hours later, I fished them out again. I took a walk in them. I'm telling you, I had pebbles and stones inside my feet, but I will put them away. So I make myself laugh. My husband is really the thing I laugh at most regularly. I'm sorry he's not here at the moment, because he is just the funniest guy, and he actually loves to make me laugh. It's like one of his things. It's probably explains 35 years that we've managed to be together. I'm a laugher. He's a comic. It really works very well. On my list, besides that, and I highly recommend this, by the way, during the darkest days, like approximately 2 days after the death of RBG, at the absolute trough of sadness and despair, I don't know what everybody else was doing, but I went online and watched cat videos. And if you really want to have a great break in life and have a really wonderful evening, watch funny animal videos. I mean, there's an occasional funny dog video or otters, but cats take the cake, especially when they're like playing with toilet paper rolls. I'm just falling on the floor while everybody else is watching the news and dying. So highly recommend.
Die laughing.
Why not? And as I go through the list and was thinking of all the things that make me laugh that are endless, you know, shows and movies and comedians, Saturday Night Live, always good for a good laugh. I realized Jewish humor is one of the things that has sustained me. First of all, I was born into it. I lived it. Probably most of, you know, a lot of the comics and all the really funny stuff from the 50s and 60s and 70s was all a lot of Jewish humor. So I grew up steeped in it. And as a gift to the general audience, I will tell the one joke I know, because it's an old Jewish humor joke. All right? And watch me murder it. Okay, so like other people here tonight, I'm just not a best joke teller. But there's an old guy living in Miami Beach, Julie. And he's in great shape. So he likes to parade himself around on the veranda of his condo, and he's like showing off his muscles. He's got a nice tank top on, and he says to the passersby, he says, "How old do you think I am? Hey," and hey, he's just showing off, and he's really feeling full of himself. And he spies down on the porch, down the deck, he sees an older lady sitting there, and he says, walks right over to her. He says to her, "Hey, how old do you think I am?" And he's showing off his muscles and his tank top. And she says, "Unzip your pants." Okay. And pants. She takes her hand and kind of goes inside and gets a good feel. And after she gets a good feel and really thinks about it, calculating, she looks up, she says, "You're 81. He goes, "How did you know?" I heard you tell those girls down the block a minute ago.
He who laughs last.
He who laughs at bad old dirty Jewish jokes laughs a lot. Thank you guys. It's good to, good to see you, and it's really good to laugh.
Thank you, Susan. Thanks, son. Steve Kerner is on deck and Deborah Macheski is up now.
Okay, I have a couple poems to read. I guess in general, I am just not that funny of a person because my poems are serious, even though I knew the topic. So this is the one that I wrote for tonight's topic, and it's called Happy Times. Birthday celebrations via FaceTime, eating cake together across the Atlantic. Smiling faces fill the screen, big teeth, laughing eyes, winking giggles. These are my moments of joy, making plans for an unclear future. When, where, how will we share our next real hug? Somehow these sweet girls already understand that things really are unimportant. Memories can be carried anywhere, masked out in the big world. School time in person, more studying, more choices, new chances to release energy, prancing, dancing, stretching around the sport complex track, long moments thinking at the piano, classical Spanish guitar concert in the house, rain outside, thoughts turn to hot cocoa, tiny Polaroids, holding them close to my heart, making dinner with an audience who won't eat the food. If only we could pass samples through the iPad, prolonged goodbyes, lots of goofy faces, strings of unimportant words to extend the visit. Finally, a click back to reality. So that was my one that had a tiny bit of happiness in it. And this one I wrote today because you said we had extra time. So I've been going swimming to try to distract myself. I float in oblivion, swimming laps at the pool. After each lap, I float my way back, following one of the steel beams across the ceiling. I make my way in muffled silence. Sometimes I can hear myself breathing, sometimes nothing. I feel the friction of the rough water against my skin. I notice all the places where my body holds its pain. Like a water nymph is dragging me by my weak wrist back to where I first began. I enter the pool in darkness, leaving in the early morning light. The chill in the air shocks my body awake. I focus on the number of laps I complete, telling my niece, the lifeguard, my total, but only when she asks. Gaining more strength as time passes, feeling alone, separate, racing only against myself. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. Ronnie, you're on deck, and Steve Kerner's up.
This is something that transpired about a week ago. So my little story is called My Life with Donna. I thought Donna would awaken looking anxious. There was still much to do to prepare for the painter coming soon. Instead, when her alarm went off, she turned to face me and said angelically, "Hi, Steve." Let me say that Donna has many techniques to help her asleep and stay asleep. Her alarm clock sounds with soft celestial notes. To fall asleep, in lieu of tranquilizers, she uses homeopathic salt tablets, mysterious vitamins, and Tibetan bells from her iPhone. And to stay asleep, she uses a black satin mask and earbuds. She surrounds herself with many large fluffy pillows, even one on her tummy for when she sleeps on her back. She has 3 under her head and 2 between our heads. It's like a sleep cave, but she says all these pillows make her feel cozy. One of the pillows between us is extremely soft, like a lamb's belly, and I sometimes caress it instead of her because we're small and she's so far away at the other end of the king-size bed. Given all that needed to be done to prepare for the painter and COVID clean her Pilates studio for her first client, I was surprised that she didn't seem rushed. So as we lay in bed, I said, "Just before you awoke, I heard a dog bark outside. It struck me as an ugly bark, but it made me think how animals are lucky that they're not as self-conscious like we are. If that dog realized how ugly its bark was, it would probably start barking. It's an advantage for animals to not have a mind like ours, right?" She said, "You mean in this world today or in general?" What did that mean? Donna tends to sometimes say things that confound me, and she laughed when she saw me looking perplexed. So I exaggerated my confused expression, which made her laugh more. She said, "I have a way of leading people astray. It's because of my dancing, creative, circuitous mind." "But why did you say dogs in this world in general?" I said. "I didn't say that," she said. "You did. I said dogs in this world today or in general." I said, "But I didn't start out saying dogs in this world in general or dogs in this way in this world today in general. Donna, I'm so confused right now." That made her laugh. I said, "Sometimes I imagine how great it would be if everything we spoke that was misunderstood or was recorded was out there so we could replay it and conclusively prove who actually said what to whom." "It is," she said, "in the Akashic records. Everything that has been said and that has happened and that will happen is recorded in the Akash." "In the Akash?" I said, somewhat surprised. I'd never heard of that. And to hide my ignorance, I said, "That must be some big library." "There's also the Pleiades and the Council of Light, but I don't want to overwhelm you. At least you have something to ponder." "I could ponder it like a Japanese koan," I said. "It's not Jewish, it's Japanese. A koan," she said. "It's all the same. Japanese ponder koans and Jews ponder other things." "Like what?" she said. "Like pastrami. For example, a Jew might think, there's so much noise. Does anybody else hear it?
Yes.
A Jew might think with an Orthodox lilt, imagine if you put one piece less of pastrami on a rice sandwich. Should you tell the customer or leave it better unsaid, knowing that the customer would not notice and would benefit from not filling even more his already swollen tummy? Questions like this were debated by Jews in the Midrash and the Torah and the Gemara and all the other ancient Jewish texts. She laughed and said, "Shirley MacLaine was deep into Akash." "She was at my bar mitzvah," I said, "at a little synagogue off the Grand Concourse in the Bronx, where I lived with my grandparents when I was a kid." "Wait," I said, "not Shirley MacLaine. What's her name? The woman who was married to Stevie Adams." "You mean Edie Gourmet and Steve Lawrence?" "Yes," I said excitedly, "them. They were at my bar mitzvah." "How come?" she said. "For the other kid who was having our bar mitzvah, but they were there." Donna said, "What a funny name, Gourmet." "Yeah," I said, "I bet her parents played a joke on her by giving her the first name of Edie, like eating gourmet." She said, "Hey, I think I'd better get up and at him." And with that, she got out of bed and went to the dresser and put her hands underneath her breasts to lift them up and said, "It's sad the way women's breasts sag as they get older." I said, "But you have beautiful breasts, even for your age." She then lifted up her breasts and bent over to simulate a cow and said, "Cows need bras." I said, "Depending on their political persuasion, they could wear red bras or blue ones." With that, we had our last laugh, and she hurried out, leaving me to ponder my life with Donna.
Thank you, Steve. And now, dear Ronnie.
Hello, my friends.
Ronnie.
Yes. I recently moved from Housatonic to the Curtis Hotel, which is now senior housing in Lenox. And of course, any move throws one off a little bit. The cat, who is normally an outside cat, has become an indoor cat much more easily than I have settled in. And So a couple of nights ago, oh, and I should say, part of the introduction, that my car still looks as though I am living in it, because there are boxes that I won't bring in until I've got rid of the boxes that are already here. So a little while ago, I was at a party, and it was a party full of people very much like you. It was after IWOW, and we were chatting, having good conversation, perhaps a glass of wine. And as we all left and everyone said goodbye, I walked out onto the street and there was no one there. And I was in an area where I'd never been before. And I couldn't find my car.
Oh.
With all these items in it, including 4 leaded crystal cut glass bowls and a few other things that are of value. And I searched and searched and felt more lost than I have been in years. And then I woke up.
Oh.
I'm glad you woke.
But I'm hanging pictures, so I'm really.
Thank you.
Lovely, everybody, to see you, really.
Great to see you.
Yeah.
You too, Ronnie.
Anybody who didn't share that would like to share what makes you laugh? Okay, team. Announcements, voting, vote.
Maybe Marilyn.
Vote.
Listen to the debate tonight.
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow, I beg your pardon.
Wednesday, yeah.
So I want to say something that made me, yeah. So I'll say something that made me really, really laugh the other day. So it was on Facebook, and it was the picture, and I think you might have seen it at least 4 years ago. Biden is sitting next to Obama, and Biden is serious, and Obama's got his hands over his face and he's leaning down, and he says, the snapshot says, "So did you take the high road like I said?" And Biden said, "I told him to shut up." And Obama said, and I was just like hysterical laughing. I kept sending it, you know, and sharing it, and every time it would pop up, like, because somebody liked it, I could just seeing Obama, you know, just saying, you know, "Did you take the high road?" I told him to shut up. So this made me really, really laugh. I thought that was so, you're welcome.
That's great. That's great.
And I have a joke. I don't know if we have time. Yeah. I have a joke that I've told, I don't know, years and years ago when I was younger, and like I guess 30, 35 years ago, which at the time for me was scandalous that I would say this, but well, not really. So anyway, it's really one of those classic jokes. So there's unfortunately 3 Italian nuns passed away almost at the same time, and they're Italian nuns, and the first nun comes up and she's at St. Peter's Gate, and St. Peter says to her, "This has never happened before, but God says that you were so good you can go back to earth and be whoever or whatever you want to be. And what would you like to be?" So the nun says, "Oh, I would like it to be a Gina Lollobrigida." And so he says, "Okay, go, you're Gina Lollobrigida." So the second nun comes up and he says the same thing. "This is the second time it's ever happened. You can go back to earth and be whoever, whatever you want to be." And so the second nun says, "I would like it to be a Sophia Loren." And so he says, okay, you're Sophia Loren. And the third nun comes up and he says, you also have been so good. God has said you can go back and be whoever, whatever you want to be. And she said, I want to be Sarah Pippolini. And St. Peter says, what? Who? Sarah Pippolini. I don't know who that. Let me look in the big book. And he's filling the big book, and all of a sudden she points, and she goes, Sarah Pippolini. And he looks and he reads, Sahara Pipeline laid by 10,000 men.
Don't tell her.
I think that was our glass of wine.
Good. An old dirty Italian joke, too.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you, hon. Anybody have any announcements?
Yeah. Are we gonna have
Yeah.
IWOW? Are we gonna have IWOW election night?
Oh, we
Or the
sure
week
are.
before?
We are?
I hope so.
Oh, sure. What are you gonna do? Watch TV for 2 hours? Oh, my God.
You could be tearing my hair out of having a party.
No. Come to IWOW.
Okay.
Come to
The result
IWOW.
won't be in that night. The result won't be in that night.
No.
Not that
I
month.
remember
Right.
when
Maybe not that
Obama
year.
was elected.
You're gonna need a distraction, I'm sure.
You're gonna need a really good theme.
Well, if it's a landslide, the results could,
Oh, there you are.
Whatever
and
happens.
it's going to be a landslide.
Hi,
We
sweetie.
hope so, Steve.
We hope
I
so.
spoke, here's a note of hope. I decided to make some calls today for some organization in Florida. And because I speak Spanish, I focused on the Spanish. But when you call Miami-Dade County, everybody that picks up the phone talks Spanish anyway.
No
And
kidding.
this-
Wow.
yeah, it's really amazing. Like 80% of the people there that I spoke to actually answered in Spanish. So this one fellow said that he got a mail-in ballot, and you know, there's always this sensitivity with Cubans, and he was Cuban, about the Democrats in Cuba. So he said, "Oh no, I'm voting for Biden." He said, "I've got a mail-in ballot. I'm just debating whether I should mail it in or take it in, but I'm going to take it in because if I have to walk or take a bicycle or ride a horse or take a chariot, I'm going to help that man get into office." So that was encouraging.
He's
Great.
good.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody have an announcement or, whoops.
Oops. By mistake, I shared that. You have to
Well, you
say
know,
her accent, right?
She doesn't have to. She doesn't have to dig a grave for him because he's digging a grave for himself.
Yeah, I'll stop
That's
it.
true, he is.
Not
There
fast enough.
to me.
What that new garden is for.
Who shared that? I didn't know.
I did. But I hear her voice every time I see it. I make grave for a husband.
So grave. It's a great grave.
Great grave.
Lots of love. May you all
Huge.
feel well and be happy.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deb.
Bye, everybody.
Be well.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Dad.
Bye.
Hi, guys. Great to see you.
Thanks for laughing.
Bye-bye.
Susan.
Thanks for the laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to leave.
Nobody wants to go.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
For my leave.
Debbie went.
I will take my leave.
Adieu.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, sweetheart.
See ya.
Well, darling.
Bye, Amelia.
Oh, bye, Deb. She was wonderful.
Yeah,
Allison,
Meryl.
Alice,
Everybody.
Yeah.
Allison Gaines. Remember?
Oh, good, good. Oh, I'm glad, honey. Oh, good. Good, good,
Absolute winner.
good.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. I'm glad it worked out for you. All right, sweetheart.
Thank you,
I'm
dear.
gonna go.
Blessings.
Bye.